Paul says here, he says, we're not winning to win as a corruptible crown. We're winning to win it all. One team walk off the field a winner. And some sports and they've had draws in the past. Well, basically, you have a tie. This isn't a game of tie. We can't tie this game. We can't go out both. Well, I didn't win, but I didn't lose. That ain't gonna happen. You win or you lose, and it's gonna be sad when we get to that point and we lose, and we lose an issue that was this big 5 years ago, this big 10 years ago, something we've never thought would bother us, and yet now we've lost it all because of that one little issue, because that one little problem, because that one little thing we didn't take care of immediately that we thought we could handle being strong, mature Christians, and we lose. And the problem is, you don't know how you're going to react when you lose. If you're in a situation to lose this battle, you're in a situation to lose the next battle, and the next battle, and the next battle, and then become so doubtful and so just uncaring and, just bothered by it all, so burdened down that the chance of winning is now out of your grasp. How many people have we known in the past that reached that point where basically there's no chance, their attitude's so bad because of losing so many times and get so deep in despair that there's very little chance of them coming out of it. Yeah. This is us. This is us. In this room, that's people who listen to this message, who sing, "Oh, how I love Jesus," who sing, "I'll follow you," who sing, "I'll keep on the firing line," who read this Bible, who go out and talk to these people every single day about how we are and how we love Jesus. This is us. Could be in 1 year, and maybe it's in 5 years. How sad. If that is not enough, this reason to fight, to go and to find out where we stand. Paul said to prove yourself. See, examine yourselves. We've seen enough people in the past to see what happens at the end of the game. And yet we will walk by and not care. Because we don't have this. We're too holy. We know too much of the Bible. We know Christ so intimately. It ain't happening. He won't let it happen to us. It's coming. For one of us in this room, we're on that line, and it's a fight. It's a life or death battle right now. And you might not up to next week. You might not up to a year from now. But we're about to enter that life or death battle with that issue. And you know what? That thing may be caused by several reasons. And I'll make that point as well. It's not only our sin causes some of these issues. They say, and I see it myself watching sports while watching all these years. They always say there's one game you're gonna slip, you're gonna fall, someone's gonna fail you, something's gonna happen, and you're gonna end up in this battle. So those of us who are trying and really putting our soul and our effort into finding well, that time will come when we will end this battle just from circumstances. I heard the other day on the radio, and it spoke my heart, of another pastor who has been arrested for molesting somebody in his church. We all have in our minds these people we sit on pedestals who are pillars of the church. And just like the best player in that ball game, just like the best player on that team, the best soldier in the army who can shoot the best, that person may fall, that person may get injured, that soldier may get shot and die. And you know what? If the time comes, does that whole regiment just fall apart? Or do they keep going? Does that whole team strengthen themselves up and fight and win? That shows what was in the team's heart. So, I was just wondering, are you going through, is it not sin that's causing the problem? Is it circumstance? And it will show, once again, it's a gut check time, because those better teams, despite losing their best player, those other players will take role changed. If one of those great men of God stumble and fall, where are you going to be at tomorrow? Are you going to be at that part basically in despair? Oh, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what we can do without him. Because the truth is, what happened to him don't matter something. Just do or lose. That team that loses that star player in that first quarter and lose that game, you know what? They still lose. They still lose just as much as that person may injured. So, just because someone here may fall, just because somebody may fail, if we base our game on that person, we'll lose just as much. We'll lose just as much. That player, at the end of the game, when that final thing comes up on that board, it says nothing about that person injured. It says nothing about that problem. It doesn't say, well, the ball bounced away from me and bounced another person's arms and he scored. And so we lost that way. Or it was tipped a crazy way and that person won. At the end of the game, it don't matter. That one, loser and a winner. Gut check time, people. It's gut check time to find out where you stand. If you don't, I guarantee it, you will lose. You will lose. And how sad that would be to lose in this stage of life, in this game. I know for a fact, in my life, in our room here, we know more Bible probably than most people on the street. We try to live better than most people on the street. We have, and this is why it may not be exactly true. I don't know anybody's heart, but we probably are following the Christian life than most people are. What a shame to lose that because you were too high and mighty, prideful, uncaring, and unwilling to do something, to put your hands in the dirt and fight. What a shame. What a shame. So I ask you morning, gut check time. What issue this morning is bothering you? What are you fighting? And what are you going to do about it? Is it the start of the fight? Do you see that issue? Do you see that small little team, that little opponent? Well, it's a small army. It won't be much to do. Strength and put it down. Don't wait till it gets big and it can kill you. Don't wait till it gets big and can kill your children. Don't wait till it gets big to kill your spouse. Get it now. Get it now while it is small. Get it now while it is able to be gone. Because once it gets in your heart, like that root of bitterness I think Paul talked about, it will get down deep and get deeper and deeper until it consumes you. And then the only way to pull it out is an absolute demolishing of who you are. When those roots, everybody who knows about farming, those roots go down deep and you pull them out, and they pull out your plant too with it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to lose all you work for to deal with this issue. Yeah, you may beat it, but it's going to hurt. Yeah. So it's gut check time. And that's sports turn. Where are we at this morning? And truly look at our hearts and find out where we're at. And find out how close we are to that edge and losing that battle for good. And if we could just get that in our hearts, if those teams, those better teams, would go into every game completely focused, completely ready, no matter what happens to win, they would never lose. And those armies, those best armies in the world, who go and fight, if they were going to that battle saying, no matter what the enemy throws at me, no matter what ambush, no matter what person gets shot, no matter what, I'm going to win, they will win every single time. It may be hard, but they'd win. But I think how many of us are fighting battles we should be fighting? And how many of us are fighting issues? And I think myself, once going back to the sports analogy, teams who fight a small team like crazy. And they're barely got to win. But it's so exhausted, the next team who next week, who isn't little, beats them like crazy. Just beats them down. Embarrasses them. Why? Because they took and they played that small issue first. And therefore it drained them, it beat them spiritually. And when that next person comes, who will have the best, if you're the best person you can be, the best Christian you can be, fight hard, you ain't going to stand a chance. They're going to blow you out of the water. Satan is a very smart adversary. And if he can make you trip, if he can tie you up on this small issue here, he has succeeded. If he can, the small issue you should have took care of, start with, and get on with Christian life, he has succeeded. So, gut check time. All this morning, no matter how long we've been Christian, no matter how strong we think we are, no matter how much this Bible we know, it's time to really investigate our hearts. Find out where we are and find out what our faith really is. And find out what we really are. And it's a scary thought. I know it's crazy when you get to that stage. It's scary to find out what you really are. Anybody here knows, if you truthfully have ever searched up for, you're scared of that. You're scared of what God may reveal in your life. You're scared of what may be deep in your heart. And I think that's been going through that a lot this week. And it burdens you down. And hurts, and not when you have to search down, but it's worth it. Because if I don't find out what my fault is, if I don't find out what my issues are, if I don't find out where my failures are and why I'm not winning like I should, then I'm going to lose. It's the time is gone for me to cry to God. Oh, well, I need strength today, God. I need peace today, God. I need this. And then there's no answer. Because now it's time to fight. Now it's time to see what you're worth. You know? So find out this morning what you are. And find out where you fall in. And find out something, because you get as close. Now that fourth quarter sounds. That team, other side, now knows he can beat you. He now knows he can come out there and whoop you. So I ask you this morning, really search yourself and find out what you are and what you're doing, because we're in that fight of life and death now. I mean, this nation is about to enter that battle of life and death. Our Christian freedoms is now in the stage. Why? Because years ago when the started, those Christians did not take it seriously. And it's got to take time for a nation, so to speak. Well, now we're at a stage now where it's win or lose. Now this issue now begins to beat us. But you know what? We go through the same in our homes, in our families, in our churches, in our own hearts and lives. Of where it's get-check time. It's time to find out really of what we are and how much God Christ means to us and how much we're willing to give Him. You know, He says they endure to the end. Well, will you endure? Will you? Because that team who wins will endure to the end. But you know that team that won't will not. So I ask you this morning, as I close, truthfully, and spend the next week, spend the next months finding out, truthfully, where we have failed. Why are we in this fight we're in? Why are we dealing with that little issue that has plagued us for so long? And has now been to the point where it's now ready to kill us. It's now ready to beat us for good. And we're at that stage. Now, I have no doubt in mind there's people in this room who are dealing with that, who are now in this part of life or death. So, ask yourself, find out, examine yourself, prove yourself in the faith, and find out what exactly you believe and how far you're willing to go, and how much you want to win. Because those teams at the end of those games, when that team really gets tired and puts his feet down and says, "I'm going to beat him," and they win. That I'm telling you that team, their team who wins is not thinking, I saw the errors. They're thinking, you know what? It's done. I won. All the blood and bruises on me now. It's over. So I ask you this morning, truthfully, examine yourselves. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we ask you taking this, just touch our hearts and lives, Lord. You're just taking this burden on our hearts with what we failed at, Lord. You just show us how serious this issue is this morning, Lord, and show us how we may take and truthfully fight, and through your help win this battle, Lord. We ask you to give us the will to see our problems and then the will to fight against our problems, Lord, and give them to you. And we ask you to take and just enlighten us, Lord, to have that knowledge, Lord, to push these issues under the blood and out of our lives before they get too large for us. This is the strength of everybody here, and we ask you to just take and just bless us. Just in your pray.
Thanks so much. Looks like we've been bumped offline 2 or 3 times, and I apologize for that. I'll finish it up. I don't know how much